We'll start a fresh topic, Java Swing. Okay, you do have an idea about what is AWT. Swing is a much more advanced GUI toolkit which is available in Java. Okay, so before we go into Swing, let's first find out the differences between what is AWT and Swing. If you remember AWT, the initial classes, I did very well tell you that AWT are heavyweight components. You should be remembering what is a heavyweight component. Swing components are lightweight. AWT doesn't support a pluggable look and feel, while Swing, as I told you earlier, it has got a very cool, comfortable, a pluggable look and feel. AWT programs, they aren't portable, while Swing is portable. AWT is an old framework in Java for creating GUI. You have to hard code everything. Swing is a much more newer framework where you have two panes. You have the design and then you have the source, and then you can work on that. To import, to work on AWT, you need to import java.awt.package. Swing, you need to have the extended Java package. That is what is JavaX extended. JavaX dot swing package. AWT, the number of controls or components are less. Less in the sense, lesser compared to Swing. In Swing, you have much more advanced components like JTable, JTabPan, JColor chooser. You even have JProgress bar. There are much more advanced options in Swing. AWT, as I told you earlier, you have to write code for each and every button or be it any component. But Swing, you need to write very less code. Majority of the code is auto-generated. Just for the things which the user plans to customize, you need to write code. AWT, it doesn't follow the MVC, the Model View Controller architecture, while Swing does follow the MVC architecture. We'll directly go into programming of Swing. I'll open up my Java Eclipse. Start fresh in Eclipse. I'll just right click. I'll go for a new project, new Java project. I'll give the project a name. Let's say test or demo. Next. You'll notice that, because I'm using a lower version of Eclipse, I'm using only the 1.6. Earlier, when I was using 2020, I was using the higher version of Java SC. But because, now when I went to a lower version, of course, 1.6 is being used. Anyway, leave that. Next. Okay. I'll write all my code in my source folder. I'll finish. Okay. So I do have a demo, a Java project, and now I'm planning to write my code in my source. Okay, so first we will learn about, before we directly go into Swing, we learn a few things like, let's say, components which are not available in AWT, but are available in Swing. Okay, so first we will learn about a tool, a component called JProgress bar. JProgress bar. You might be wondering what is a JProgress bar. I'll show you an example of a progress bar. Okay, like, in your websites, in portals, in software and all, when the things load, you do see something like this. You call this a progress bar. Like, the percentage, it goes on increasing up till 100. Okay, this particular thing. This is what you call a progress bar. This is what you call a progress bar. So now we'll see how to create a progress bar in Java Swing. Okay, so I'll have a new class. I'll write a class. I'll hardcode. Let's say JProgress demo. Okay, so I'm having a program JProgress demo. I'll start coding. So as usual, I'll need a frame. Now, I'm going to use Java X dot swing. I'm no longer planning to use AWT because, J progress bar. In Swing, everything proceeds with a J. Okay, J progress bar, J combo box, J radio button, J button, J table, J tabbed pane, J frame, J panel. Okay, everything proceeds with a J in Swing. Okay, so anyway, I'm planning to work on Swing. So I'll have a J frame. I'm no longer going for the ordinary frame. I'll go for the J frame. I'll create an object J frame. Let's say F is equal to new J frame. J frame, I'll give a name, J progress bar demo. Okay, my J progress bar demo. I'll finish it up. I'll do the very basic thing. I'll set the size, set F dot set size. I'll give dimension for my frame. Let's say a 400, 400 end. And together with that, I'll even make it visible. Set visible true. Okay, I've created a frame. I have now even made it visible. Okay, now what we'll have to do is you have to create a J progress bar. J, P is in capital, J progress bar. Let's say I'll just give a name JP. JP is equal to new J progress bar. Okay, I've created a J progress bar. Now, if you look into my J progress bar, okay, I'll just take a random progress bar over here. I'll take this violet one over here. You have to set a minimum and a maximum. You have to set a minimum and a maximum for the J progress bar. Usually it happens 0 to 100. The minimum is 0 and the maximum is 100. So I'll set the minimum JP dot set minimum. Okay, I can give an integer. I'll say 0. And even I've got to set the maximum. Set maximum. Let's say I give 100. Okay, so now I've set the minimum and the maximum. Now again, if you look into my J progress bar, look here, it needs to be visible. Okay, it needs to be visible. And even, you want to, you couldn't see it earlier, right? J progress bar. Now is it visible? I had opened up.
Yes,
I had opened up a Google. What happened earlier is I shared a window, not screen. Okay, this is what you call a J progress bar. Okay, all these. See, these are the J progress bar. Are you able to get me? Okay.
Yes,
so this is what I told you. Minimum. This is the minimum. This is the maximum. Now look into this J progress bar. Okay, you need to see it. You need to see it on your screen, and even you need to see a number inside, like 60%, 70%, and all that. Okay. Now to do all that, I believe you're able to see my Eclipse.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now are you able to see my Google images?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now it's fine. Okay. Now I need to make it visible, or with respect to a progress bar, you don't have a method called visible. You have instead set string painted. Okay. Set string painted. I give true, which means, I'll be able to see my progress bar, and even, I'll be able to see that numbering in my progress bar. Now what I do is I add the J progress bar to my frame. Okay, so all what I've done is I've created a frame, I made it visible, I even created a J progress bar, I set the min, I set the max, I even painted it, and then I added it onto my frame. Okay, so I'll save my program, I'll run my program. Okay, so anyway, you are able to see the number, but it has to progress. Okay, so can you see a blue background? That is my J progress bar. I have a big J progress bar. Later we'll make it smaller, but I've painted it. I'm able to see that 0%, but it has to progress. It has to progress with respect to time, 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. So we'll have to write code for that. Very simple. You write a loop for int I is equal to 0, I less than or equal to 100, I plus plus. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll do int max is equal to 100, JP set maximum max. Okay, okay, looks better. Okay. I 0 less than or equal to max, I plus plus. Now I need to set the values. If you remember earlier, now it is 0. I need to set my I value over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. So I'll write jp dot set value. Very simple it is, jp dot set value I. Okay, and now it should happen with respect to time. No, you should call the sleep method, no, because it should happen with respect to time. So I put my thread to sleep for 100. I'm getting an error. Okay, okay. I'll have to put it in a loop because I'm having this sleep over here. I'll put it in a try catch because I'm using the thread try catch exception E. I'll just finish off my exception with system.out.print ln E. Okay, looks better. I'll save my program. Very simple. I put it in a loop, 0 to 100. And then, based upon a second, I'll get the number changing. Let's see. Just a minute. I'll exit off all these. Okay. Oh, it happened quickly. It happened too quickly. We'll do one thing. We'll make the J progress bar a bit more smaller. I'll give a better layout. You can set a flow layout so that it will look better. True. Okay. Let's say f dot. We'll give a layout. F dot set layout. Set layout manager. We'll give a flow layout. Flow layout. Flow layout cannot be resolved to a type. Flow layout is java.awt. Import java.awt.star. Okay. Flow layout is AWT. What happened? No output. Let's see. Okay, anyway, you got it, but you were not able to see the progress. Okay, there was some problem in my code. We'll find it out.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what happened is, the frame visible, I gave it after the loop. The frame visible, I gave it after the loop. So what happened is only after the whole thing was progressed, I was able to see my frame. Hope you are able to understand the difference when I kept it over here and when I keep it over here. Okay, when I keep it over here, what happens is, the loop and all, everything happens, and only after the loop terminates, I will be able to see my frame. Okay, let's see. Okay, that's 0 to 100. The whole thing is progressing now. But I'm not, frame is not visible now. Only after it reaches 100, the frame gets visible. Okay, so what I did is, I just made my frame visible first, and then I did my progress bar. Okay, so this is what you call a progress bar. You can do more things like, once it reaches 100, you can say, finish it off, dispose. Frame dot dispose. So let's see what happens. After 100 happens, I need not click the terminating button. Automatically the frame goes away. By the time it reaches 100, say I'm not clicking anything. By the time it reaches 100, the frame would exit on its own. Yeah, it's gone. Okay, because I gave a F dispose away after the loop. So now we are done with J progress demo. Now, this we did hard coding. Now, let's see some Swing components. I'll open up a new, look here, new. So, you can open up a class, you can open up a package interface and all that. Now we are going to Swing programming. We're going to Swing programming. Now to do that, you'll go for the other window builder. Okay, these are the normal things which we do, Java project and all. But now I'm going to do a Swing program, window builder. Swing program in the sense I'm going to use my Swing designer. Swing designer, window builder, Swing designer. You will find a lot of options over here. Now, I'll tell you the main difference between application window and the others. Okay. Now, imagine you have a main, you are doing a project. And from a particular window, you want to open up other windows. The first window should be an application window. Okay. If you are doing a standalone program, you can go for JFrame. Okay. Now I am planning to do a standalone program where no other windows will be opened and all that. So I can go for JFrame. Okay. I'm not going for application window. We will see application window might be after this program. Now I'm going for a normal JFrame because I am not planning to open up anything else from this particular window. Okay. So I'll click next. And now we'll go for a new component called JFileChooser. JFileChooser. So I'll give the FileChooser demo. FileChooser demo. The superclass automatically will come Java, Swing, JFrame, everything. Okay. So I'll finish off. Okay, now look here. The default set of code would automatically come in. A frame is already made. Okay, I am already got a border. I even have a normal border layout. Everything is there. You go into my design. I already have a frame which all these buttons are working. I'll just run this program. Okay, I'll get a frame. All these buttons would work. Okay, so by default, I do have all these code. Now you just need to write code for your designer part. Just make this bigger. Now you will have something called a palette. You call this a tool palette. Okay, you can select whatever things you want on it. So, just like you have button over there, you do have something called J button. Look here, everything starts with J, as I told you. J panel, J split pane, J toggle button, J text area, everything starts with J. I'll just have a simple button over here. J button. Okay. Now, normally when you put it over here, the button will be too large. The button will occupy the whole space. So what you can do is, like, when you're planning to do something, first put in an absolute layout. Okay. Put in an absolute layout and then put your button. So, your button looks much more prettier and all that. And once you create any component inside your frame, you will get something over here onto your leftmost called properties. This is your properties. Okay, you can give a name for your button. The text inside the button will be text, T-E-X-T. Now I'll just put something over here. Click here. Click here. Okay, it is now click here. Okay, click here. And you can even give a name for the button. By default, your Eclipse is giving name like button, new button. It's too huge a name, so I'll just give click button. I can give my own name for the button. I gave a button name, click button, and the text I gave it as click here. Okay, I double click this. I will directly go to the action performed. I will directly go into the action performed. Now, I'll just show you what do you mean by a file chooser. See, this is what you call a file chooser, where you are able to select a particular file or a particular directory. You call this a file chooser. Okay, now we are planning to design a file chooser in our Java program. Okay, so for that you have J file chooser. J is caps, F is caps, C is caps. I'll give a name. JC is equal to, okay, new J file chooser. Create an object for that. Import. Okay. Now I've created a file chooser called JC. You can either leave this empty. There are many constructors. You can either leave this empty, or like, you can give a particular drive. Like, if you are planning to go for the E drive, you can give, let's say, E, or if you're wanting to go into a particular path, just give the path over here. You can give it anyway. I'm for the time being, okay, let it be E. So, which means, when I click that button, my E drive should be opened. Okay, so just save my program. I'll run my program. Okay, my J file chooser hasn't come. Okay, oh, I didn't add it anyway. So this is how you create an object for your J file chooser. Now this J file chooser has a lot of methods. Like, let's say file, open file. Okay, this is very simple, a J file chooser. Now, usually you can select anyone. Now, in J file chooser, you can have the option of multiple selection. Anyway, single selection. If you don't write anything, by default, it is single selection. You can have multi-selection with a method called set multi-selection enabled, which means, you can select more than one. Now, look here. I'll even show you one more thing. Open file. Let's say downloads. Okay, look here. Now you can see a folder over here, and you can even see files over here. This is a folder. You can even see files over here, that also can be set in your J file chooser, whether you want only files or you want only folders or you want both and all that. For that, you have a method called set selected. No, not set selected. Set file. Yeah. Set file selection mode. Set file selection mode. Set file selection mode. J file chooser dot directories only. Okay, you can give directories only, or you can give files and directories, or you can give files only. If you give files only, only files will come. If you give directories only, only directories will come. If you give file and directories, both files and directories will be opened over there. Okay, so what I've done is I've done set multi-selection enabled, which means, I will be able to select more than one file. I will be able to see both my files and my directories. Now I need to show, because earlier we couldn't see it. Just like you give set visible, let's say you give jc dot show. Okay, you can give show open dialog. Okay, we'll see one by one. If you give show open dialog, true. Open dialog isn't working. Save dialog. Just save my program. Just a minute. jc dot show open dialog. Okay, null. Okay, it's null. I'll just save my program. I'll run my program. I'll click here. Okay, I gave save dialog, so I have here save. Okay, now look here. I gave my E colon. So my E colon is opening up. I told what multi-selection enabled, which means, look here, I'm using the control key. I can select more than one. Okay, and then what else? I gave both files and directories. If you look very carefully over here, see, all these are directories. These are files. This is an exe file, and this is a document file. Okay, so I'll just press cancel. Now the same way, instead of save dialog, I can give open dialog. If I give open OS caps, if I give open dialog, okay, I get the open tab, open up a particular file. Have done a question. With the help of J file chooser, list out the files and directories selected. List down the files and directories selected. Okay, so we'll continue. So I'll just run my program. Now what I want is all the files which I select, I need to get it displayed. That's it. Okay, all the files which I select, I need to get it displayed. Okay, so you have a method called not show, get selected files. Okay, if it is a single file, you can give file, but as per the program I have designed, because I've set multi-selection, I will be having files. Okay, get files. I'll be having many files. I need to store it somewhere, so I'll store it in an array. in a files array, okay, equal to okay, import java.io.file. Okay, so all the files which I've selected, I've stored it in an array. Now things are very simple. All what I need to do is need to use a for loop. Okay, for file, let's say X in files, I'll have a loop and I'll SOP system.out.println, let's say the file name, okay, X dot get name. If you want the path, get the path. If you want the name of the file, okay, so I just want the name of the file. So I'll give get name. I'm having an error, println. Here, what is the error? Colon. Okay, so that's it. Just save my program. I'll run my program. Click here. I'm just selecting academics, putty, and let's say that will do. Okay, I get it displayed. I selected these two files. You can do more mischief like only directories. If you want only directories, your normal programming. If let's say X dot is directory. If X is directory, then only print it. Okay, just show only the directories. You can select whatever you want. You will be printing only the directories. Let's say I clicked academics, and out of which putty and these two are files. These two are files. These two are directories. Okay. Okay. So only academics and came up. Or if you want, you can even have a label over here. You can have a label over here. Very simple. Click a label. Put the label over here. Just make it a bit bigger. Make it a bit bigger. I'll give a new name, LBL. That's enough. Not too much decorations. The text, I want nothing to be displayed. Okay, so I'll go back into my source. Where's my, okay. So here, label dot, set text. I can write it in my inside my set LBL dot. What happened? LBL. Okay, LBL should have been global. Just a minute. Control C. Label. Okay. So where were we? We were over here. Okay. LBL dot. Okay, good. Looks good. Set text. So inside my text, I can give which file I have selected. Okay, you will be selecting multiple files over here. We'll do one thing. We'll just display the path then. JC dot get JC dot get selected files path. Okay, get absolute path or canonical path or whatever. Just get the path of it. I'll save my program. I'll run my program. Click here. Okay, I get in my label, I just get the path of whichever, the first one. The first one I clicked, I get the path. So these are a few ways in which you can work on your file chooser, Java file, J file chooser. We just quickly see the output. Okay, click here, multi-selection enabled. So, you will be able to see, I've clicked even files. I have an exe file over here. I have a doc file over here. All these have been selected, open. Okay. Now, out of which, look here, only my folders are being displayed. And here, as I've written in my code, only the absolute path is being given. We learn something called J color chooser, COLOR, J color chooser. I'll have a new program. Okay, I'll take a frame, uh, color chooser demo. Okay, so I've got my default code. Now, before we go into J color chooser, I'll just quickly show you what do you mean by a color chooser. Okay, this is what you call a color chooser. Okay, you will be getting all these colors and you could be choosing whichever color you want. So this is what you mean by a color chooser. And let's see how to program it. I'll go into my design. Okay, so by default I have a frame. I'll put in an absolute layout. I'll put in a button. Okay, I'll write some text. Sorry, I'll write some text inside. Click for colors. Okay, I'll even rename my button click. Okay, the click button. I'll just make this a bit bigger. Okay, let it be there. I'll go to my add action listener code. Okay, now when I click that particular button, I want colors to come up. I want colors to come up. So you have a component called color chooser, COLOR chooser. Okay. Now color chooser will be of the type color, COLOR. I'll just give some name. Color chooser JC is equal to color chooser. Okay. Color chooser dot. Okay. Show dialog. Now, if you look over here, okay, look here. This is what you call a color chooser. You can have a default color. You can have a default color. You might be seeing in all of your color choosers in any software, there will be a default color and there will even be a color which you choose. And you will even have a text over here. Choose a color or something. Now, the dialog box, that was the dialog box. Okay, the dialog box will have 3 arguments in a color chooser. The first, of course, will be null, which means this particular frame itself. The second will be the text for your color chooser. Okay, pick any color you want. Okay, and then you can give the third argument will be a color, the default color. So I'll give a default color white, color dot white. So that is going to be my default color. So I've made a color chooser window. Okay, this is my color chooser window. I've made a color chooser window with a particular heading text and with a default color. Okay, and I'll just save my program. Okay, now if you select a particular color, like let's say, look over here, you selected a yellow. So let's say if you select a yellow, your whole screen should go yellow or something like that. So let's write code for that. Okay, if nothing is selected, like if null is selected, nothing is selected, means your frame is the default color itself. Let's say the default color white. Else you will be giving a particular color to your frame. Okay, let's say if nothing is selected, it means it is your default color. I'll say JC is equal to color dot white. If nothing is selected, yeah, it is white itself. If something is selected, okay, I will have to make my whole frame that particular color. So to make your whole frame that particular color, you have content pane. You have content pane. Your J panel has been given in a name by default called content pane. I'll just select that. The default J frame, content pane dot set background. Okay, set background, which color? Your JC color, the color you have set. I'll save my program. I'll run my program. Okay, there is some error. I'll just find it out. Oh, I've got too many brackets over here. Okay, looks good. If else, what is this bracket? Okay, which is this bracket? Okay, looks good. I'll run my program. Okay, I'll click for colors. Dave, which screen are you seeing? Are you seeing a color chooser?
Yes, ma'am, I can see a color chooser now.
Okay, okay. So now look here, this is the text which you wrote. Pick any color you want. Okay, my default color, white. I set it as white. Let's say I select any color. I press an OK. The whole thing goes pink. So this is how you work on a color chooser. You can even set colors for your button. Like, let's say, I'll have another button also, J button. Okay, I'll just name this button as button 1. Okay, I'll go back to my source. Okay, so instead of changing my whole frame, what I'm planning to do is button 1, button 1, not button 1. What was it? What was the name of the button which we gave? There's an error. That is why you're not able to. If you have an error in your code, you will not be able to see the design. Button 1. Okay. Button 1 dot. Okay, okay. I'm not getting methods for button 1 because, you know, button 1 happened after the add action listener. I just put it on top. Okay. Button 1 dot. Okay, now it looks good. Set background color JC. So instead of changing the color of my button of my frame, I'm changing the color of my button. Okay, the button has been changed. So this is how you work on a J color chooser. The only thing you need to remember is you'll have 3 arguments. Okay, one is the text. The last one will be the default color. And then this is a data type. Color is a data type. And you will be assigning it to a variable of type color.